What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the 3 and D podcast, episode number 3. Got a couple of topics we're going to be going over today, so let's get started. So first and foremost, I'm going to get into the Russell Westbrook, Skip Bayless quick back and forth that happened on Twitter. So let me read out the tweet that Skip Bayless put out, and then I'll read the response from Russell Westbrook, which was actually a retweet. So Skip Bayless tweeted out, Lakers acquire a second-round pick, take Michigan State's Max Christie, who shot only 32% from 3 last season. Perfect. He'll fit right in with LeBron and Westbrook. So that's what triggered a response from Westbrook. You know, he called him Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook has already said it. Like, he doesn't like being called out his name. He said it, publicly multiple times already in interviews. He's made it pretty clear he doesn't like being called out his name. And obviously with his shooting struggles, a nickname like Westbrook, it's going to piss him off. So he actually went ahead and retweeted, yo, watch your mouth. Don't say anything here you wouldn't say to my face, which is really true. Skip Bayless would never see Russell Westbrook out and about and refer to him as Westbrook. Like, it's just not something most people are going to do. Someone out there with a couple of loose screws will do that, but I don't think Skip Bayless will go ahead and call Westbrook in person. So here's the thing. I'm going to look at this from both sides. Skip Bayless is 70 years old. Russell Westbrook, in all honesty, shouldn't even be responding to him. He's got to have thicker skin. And I know it's tough to do. And here's the reality. And you guys got to understand Russell Westbrook here. And this is why Skip Bayless maybe should tone it down a bit. Skip Bayless has a national platform, and Skip Bayless and Shannon on Undisputed, a lot of people tune into that show. It gets a lot of views on YouTube. It gets a lot of views when they're live. On Twitter, they get a lot of attention. So when he's calling Westbrook out his name, there's a lot of eyes, a lot of people seeing that. And whether you believe it or not, Skip Bayless has a lot of influence. So they see somebody that so many people follow calling Russell Westbrook, then other people start to think it's okay. And it just becomes a thing. It's like a snowball effect, and it just keeps going and going. And once that train gets going, there's no stopping it. And I understand the frustration coming from Westbrook, because if I was a player in the league and I wasn't shooting the greatest percentage and I wasn't efficient with my, shooting, and I had these personalities on television constantly calling me out my name in reference to my performance, it would affect me. It would piss me off. You know what I mean? It's a human thing. But Russell Westbrook is getting paid millions of dollars to be on this stage. So from where I stand, Russell Westbrook needs to have thicker skin. And obviously that's easier said than done, but that's the truth. Now here's how I view it if I'm Skip Bayless. I would honestly, me personally, take a step back and see that this is affecting this person. Every time I put out these tweets or call him out his name, he feels disrespected, because it is disrespectful. But at the same time, and this is me on the outside looking in, Skip Bayless is a professional troll. This dude has no actual professional sports career or knowledge. He's commenting on what he sees, and then he tries to get people to listen to his opinions. He's figured out that if he pushes the right buttons, he could get reactions out of people. And that's what's happening with Westbrook. He is trolling 1000%. He absolutely knows that Westbrook does not like being called Westbrook. See, I think that even if Westbrook wasn't responding to Skip would be happy just getting a response out of Shannon Sharpe. And that's enough for him to keep calling him Westbrook. So the only thing that Russell Westbrook is accomplishing by responding on Twitter to Skip Bayless is adding fuel to the fire. That's all he's doing. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that subject right there. Those are my thoughts on that. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about Skip calling Westbrook consistently and constantly on the show and on Twitter. And what do you guys think about Westbrook, how he handled it? Should he have responded? Should he stay off of Twitter and social media and just not respond to the trolls? Okay, so moving on to the next topic, we got Jalen Brunson on the menu here. $100 million contract offer apparently going to be presented to him by the New York Knicks. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm just going to be completely honest and upfront about it. I don't know, because Jalen Brunson, I mean, he's shown he could hoop. Now, the thing is, that's a big commitment from the New York Knicks. It's a 4-year contract, $100 million. That's $25 million a year for Jalen Brunson. But before I continue to speak on this subject here any further, I'm going to pull up this tweet from StatMuse. And it's basically Jalen Brunson's playoffs numbers this year. 21.6 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game. Those are really good stats for a guy that was playing alongside Luka Doncic, and in the absence of Luka, 21.6 with 4.6 rebounds, so we could basically just say 5 rebounds a game and almost 4 assists per game. That's pretty damn good. I've seen a couple of people saying this would be the most ridiculous contract ever, and that is in no way, shape, or form true, because we've seen way worse contracts given out to players that have performed way less than this. And if we're going to be fair to Jalen Brunson, just looking at the numbers that he put up in the Western Conference playoffs, I mean, he deserves this kind of money, especially when you look at the way that the contracts are in the NBA nowadays. Like, everyone's getting paid these crazy amounts of money. Look, guys, it's really a players' league. If you look at the contracts and what these players are making in the NBA, you would understand that this contract is really not that crazy, and he's probably going to get that offer and take it. If I'm Jalen Brunson, I'm looking at what I just did for the Mavericks, and if I can't get paid that $100 million for the Mavericks, I'm definitely going to New York and getting a $100 million contract, like, no doubt about it. Now, looking at this move from the New York Knicks perspective, I just don't understand what they're doing with the roster. It's almost like they're giving out a contract just to fill out a spot. Like, what's the big picture here? It's almost like they commit to these irrational decisions and just go on with it. And look, I'm not here to bash the Knicks. We know what their reputation is as a team, and understanding that reputation leads you to think, what are they doing? I just feel like the Knicks do have a couple of solid pieces. Emmanuel Quickley, why not see how he develops, what he turns into? He's shown flashes that he could do some things. RJ Barrett is coming off of a great season. He's only going to get better. So all I could really say is this. I hope the Knicks know what they're doing and not just giving out contracts just to fill out the roster spots. Okay, so let's shift gears and move on to the next subject here. And I got more Kevin Durant news. Past couple of episodes, a lot of Kyrie, a lot of KD, but we got to talk about it. And this is from Hoop Central on Twitter. Kevin Durant is monitoring the Kyrie Irving situation and will reportedly request a trade from the Nets if Irving leaves. So there it is, fellas. If Kyrie Irving does not come to an agreement with the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant plans to request a trade. I really can't wrap my head around this. Where would he go? Where would Kevin Durant end up if he requested a trade with the Brooklyn Nets? I have no idea. Damian Lillard went ahead and is already trolling on his Instagram story with this post right here. And it makes you wonder, like, what if KD went to Portland with Damian Lillard and they got Jeremy Grant too? I mean, could that be a scenario? Is that even a possibility? What pieces would the Blazers have to give? I don't know how realistic this is, but Damian Lillard did post this on his IG. Already seen a couple of teams like the 76ers and the Miami Heat not show interest in Kyrie Irving. And it's looking like the Lakers are the team that's interested in Kyrie the most, and obviously that has to do with LeBron James 100% and their history together. The Lakers are obviously trying to move on from Russell Westbrook. That is no secret. They already offered Russell Westbrook to the Pacers and got denied, so we know they're trying to move on from Westbrook. And if they do keep Westbrook, they're basically just asking him to play defense. They want him to just defend, basically focus on playing defense, which is crazy for a guy like Westbrook to just be asked to defend. So I do think the Lakers are going to try everything in their power to get Kyrie Irving and move on from Westbrook if Kyrie doesn't sign with the Brooklyn Nets. And this is how I'm going to wrap the podcast today, boys. I want you guys to go down into the comment section and let me know, where can Kevin Durant actually go? What is an actual realistic scenario where Kevin Durant ends up? What team would have the pieces to offer the Brooklyn Nets, and where KD actually wants to go to that team and it happens? I honestly wouldn't mind it if he went to the Blazers. I would actually be happy for Damian Lillard because he stuck it out. Damian Lillard has roughed it out in Portland for his whole career. He's really had no help. He had CJ McCollum, but they never really did anything. If he was to get a guy like Kevin Durant, what kind of a run could they make in the playoffs? I'm going to continue to follow all of these topics we just talked about, man. So make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button for future videos. Shout out to everyone that's been tuning in. The views have been amazing so far. This is the new setup, man, so get used to it. I'll make a couple of minor tweaks here and there, but I'm really happy with the feel and the look of it right now. So I'm going to stick to this for the time being. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, man. Drop a like if you did. Hit that subscribe button. 3 and D Podcast. Checking out.